Imagine this. A hidden room in a garage, locked for decades, holding relics of a TV legend. Artifacts, cars, personal mementos, all gathering dust in silence. After Johnny Carson passed away, when his estate finally opened that garage, what they discovered changed how we see the man behind The Tonight Show. In this video, we'll walk you step by step through that reveal. You'll hear about the secret cars, the letters, the trophies, and the emotional echoes left behind. By the end, you'll wonder, how well do we ever really know someone? I'm here to take you on a deep dive into the silent world Johnny Carson left in his garage. Let's get started. For 30 years, Johnny Carson was the king of late night. He was the smooth, unflappable host of The Tonight Show, a master of comedic timing whose nightly monologues became a part of American life. He was a constant, comforting presence on our screens. But behind the spotlight, Carson was a collector, an intensely private man. Many of his most prized possessions never saw the stage or the camera. His garage wasn't just a place to park a car. It was a sanctuary. Located on one of his California estates, it was a personal space where he quietly gathered things he loved, far away from the television cameras and the applause. After his death, those private treasures remained locked away, until someone decided to lift the veil. When Johnny Carson passed away in 2005, the world mourned a public icon. But for his family and estate executors, a new, private chapter began. The monumental task of inventorying a life lived both in and out of the spotlight. Decisions had to be made about his homes, his properties, and everything inside them. This led them to the garage door, a door that had been closed on a very personal part of his world. The decision to open it, likely made by the estate executor, wasn't just a logistical step. It was an emotional one. Opening that door meant confronting the man behind the carefully crafted facade. It meant revealing vulnerabilities, private thoughts, and the quiet moments that truly define a person. It was a moment of truth, where the myth of Johnny Carson would meet the reality. Picture the scene. A key turns in a lock that hasn't been opened in years. The heavy door groans as it swings open, and the first beam of a flashlight cuts through the darkness, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The first thing they saw? The cars. Among them was Johnny Carson's stunning 1939 Chrysler Royal, a classic, elegant machine that spoke volumes about his taste. We now know, thanks to Jay Leno, that this wasn't the only one. Carson also owned a 1981 DeLorean DMC-12, the iconic Back to the Future car. But it wasn't just vehicles. Tucked away were stacks of documents, letters, and old photographs. These weren't just papers. They were pieces of his story. Thank you notes from legendary guests, private correspondences, guest lists from his shows, and then the physical reminders of his incredible career, trophies, awards, and plaques, many of them sitting right next to scripts annotated in his own handwriting. Each reveal was like finding a new piece of a puzzle, a quiet whisper from the past. So what do these objects really tell us about Johnny Carson? The 1939 Chrysler Royal wasn't just a car. It was a symbol. It represented his love for mechanical elegance, a kind of quiet sophistication that mirrored his on-screen persona. Maybe it was even a metaphor for how he maintained his own polished, classic exterior. The letters and annotated scripts are even more personal. They're glimpses into his mind, showing his off-camera reactions and his real relationships with guests. They hint at the meticulous preparation that went into making his show look so effortless. The candid photos, away from the studio lights, show us a different Carson, not the showman, but a person perhaps more casual, more vulnerable, and the juxtaposition of it all is what's truly fascinating. The glittering awards of public triumph were stored in the same private space as his personal letters and quiet hobbies. In that garage, the line between the public icon and the private man completely blurred. We see that he collected not just objects, but memories, and he kept them close, locked away in silence. So, what happened to all these incredible treasures? The aftermath of opening that garage was just as interesting as the discovery itself. Some items remained with the Carson estate, kept by the family. Others were sold or donated, becoming prized pieces for collectors and museums. The most famous example, of course, is that 1939 Chrysler Royal. It found a new home in Jay Leno's renowned collection and was even featured on his show, Jay Leno's Garage, giving the public a chance to see this piece of Carson's private life. These items weren't just old things. They were culturally significant artifacts. Appraisers and historians saw them as keys to understanding one of television's greatest legends. But this also brings up a compelling question. Did opening that garage reveal too much? Should some parts of a person's life remain private even after they're gone? Or was it essential for us to see these hidden parts to understand Johnny Carson as a whole man, not just the host we thought we knew? This story isn't just about a celebrity's hidden collection. It holds powerful lessons for all of us, especially in today's world of creators and influencers. The first lesson is that legacy is physical, not just digital. We focus so much on our posts, our videos, our online footprint. But Carson's legacy lived in tangible artifacts that no camera ever saw. The second lesson? The unseen parts of your life matter. That hidden garage reminds us that what you choose not asterisk to show is still part of your story. It adds depth and complexity to who you are. The third lesson is about stewardship. Carson didn't get to decide the fate of his most private things. As creators, we should think about our own legacy, our archive. And finally, the most important lesson: authenticity over pure showmanship. The letters and personal items show that the raw, unpolished edges are what make a life and a brand truly meaningful. So don't leave your own hidden rooms locked forever. Sometimes your depth and your backstory are just as compelling as the face you show to the world. We opened Carson's garage, and we didn't just find old cars and papers. We glimpsed the private man behind the public icon and discovered how, even in silence, a legacy speaks. That garage was more than just storage. It was a container of memory, identity, and a little bit of mystery. If this story moved you, please hit that like button, share it with a friend who loves a good behind-the-scenes tale, and subscribe for more stories about legends and their hidden lives. Now, I want to ask you, if someone opened your garage after you were gone, what would they find? The polished, the messy, the unshared, let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.